Good evening, people. I am Masterath, and welcome to my review of, well, an early review of what I think of the whole Pokemon X and Y experience. The games Pokemon X and Y will be coming out on the 3DS in October, and I'm going to give you my sort of opinion on the beginning and the stuff we already know at the moment. Okay, so let's kick off with the graphics and the physical stuff. They're going to be bringing in quite a few changes to separate it from Gen 5, this completely new generation, hence X and Y, not like Black and White 3 or something. Since it's only going to be out on the 3DS, they are going to incorporate the 3DS's ability to preserve its graphics, which is, well, in Gen 4 we had, a complete graphic overhaul compared to 3. And in 3, we had a graphic overhaul compared to 2. This is the new graphic overhaul from 4 to 6. And, well, I've seen the trailer for it. It looks quite good. I especially like the new battle scenes, which sort of remind me of Dragon Quest-esque games. However, I don't really like the fact of the whole just looking around the world thing. It looks good, yeah, don't get me wrong, it looks good, but, I will miss the old one. I will miss the old one, and it's going to be difficult to get into, but, yeah, it shouldn't take that long, and we'll see what we get at the moment. Right now, apparently this new region is going to, I'm guessing, follow the last 5 gens principles of 8 gym leaders, 8 gym badges, which is good, and they should never really, leave that principle, because 8 gyms, 8 badges is what they've been going for now for nearly 20 years, and I believe they should stick with it. Right, now we get down to the Pokemon in question that have already been released. 5 have been released at the moment, along with names. So we'll kick things off with the starters. The first starter, probably the star that not many people go for, I don't know. Chespin. Well, Chespin probably out of the 3 is probably my least favourite of the 3. I don't know, I just never liked the look of Chespin or whatever. He was released last month. But yeah, Chespin, some sort of like grass-type mammal starter with a weird head, with a weird helmet. We'll see how it goes, it's going to evolve into a grass dark-type Pokemon, which I have no problem with. It's going to go along with sort of things like Cacturne and Shiftries. Which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, Cacturne and Shiftry are both good Pokemon. But I guess we'll have to see how Chespin works. But yeah, Chespin out of all of them is is probably my least favourite. Right, and next we have good old Froakie. Froakie will be the water-type Pokemon. It'll evolve, I believe it's going to evolve into a water fighting type. Which, have we seen before? I think only with Keldeo and I believe Poliwrath. I'm sure there's probably another one which I've missed out. Yeah, post it down below if you know. So yeah, I'm liking the look of Froakie. He's a cool little Pokemon, and the fact that if I was to get one, I would just call it Froggy G from Mawsomnauts. Yeah, what can I say? I do like Froakie, but by far my favourite, no surprise here, it's everyone else's favourite, the fire starter, Fennekin. Well, just look at Fennekin. Fennekin looks quite cool, actually, if you look at it. The fire starter, probably the best looking fire starter since probably, I don't know, probably, from my opinion, probably Cyndaquil. And yes, guys, it is true, since there is going to be a water fighting type starter, this one isn't going to have a fighting attribute. Finally! We've waited so long to have a fire type starter which isn't a fire fighting attribute since Gen 2. Because we've had Blaziken, which is fire fighting. We've had Infernape, which is fire fighting, and we've had Emboar, which is fire fighting. And it's brilliant that Game Freak and Nintendo have decided to keep away from that subject this time. This time it's going to be fire psychic, which I think has only happened once, and that was Victini. But yeah, Fennekin, I am a big fan of Fennekin. Now, people have already got nicknames for Fennekin, things like Mozilla or Firefox, or I'll call it Vulpix 2. Yeah, the nicknames that you're probably going to get quite often with Fennekin are going to be Mozilla or Firefox, or anything to do with the Mozilla Firefox or anything like that. It's an obvious one, while others are going to go for things like Basil, because it's a fox. So yeah, and lastly we have the Legendaries. Now, these were released, and their names were released a bit later. But first, we're going to kick off with our first Legendary. There are two that have been released. One for Pokemon X and one for Pokemon Y. The one for Pokemon Y is Xerneas. As you can see here, like a sort of a deer-looking Pokemon. That's Xerneas. I don't know what type of Pokemon it's going to be. It might possibly be a... I don't know, I think it might be a grass Legendary, which we've had a few times. We've had... Virazon, Celebi, Shaman probably, and that's it. So yeah, we've had it a few times, but it depends on what they also incorporate into Xerneas. I'm not sure what they could incorporate. I don't know, possibly a ghost attribute, possibly. I'm not sure. Grass Ghost might work. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, Xerneas, not bad looking Pokemon, but you know, I've seen better looking Legendaries. For example, Pokemon Y's mascot. Yveltal. Oh god, is this Pokemon a looker. As you can see, it's got like sort of 3 wings, or it's got 2 wings and a tail fin, like a tail, which is great. You know, it's great looking Pokemon. It's one of the best looking Legendaries for a while, in my opinion. It's a great looking Legendary. What can I say? It looks sort of fire flying, which we've seen with Ho-Oh as a Legendary before. It does look like a fire flying sort of thing. I wonder if they'll, you know, if it's going to be fire and flying, I've got no problem with that. Looks good. Looks very good. And probably because of how good Yveltal looks, I might get Y. Also, these 5 Pokemon will be joined by many old Pokemon, including Psyduck, Golduck, Pichu, Pikachu, Raichu, Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite, amongst a load of others. And I like the fact that, one, they're bringing in Dratini back for Gen 6. Dratini's always been a favourite with loads of people. Psyduck personally has been a favourite with mine, and everyone else, you know, how can you go wrong with Pikachu? So it's good they bring in a lot of us. I hope they bring in some other Pokemon. Probably something like... it'd be nice to see Ghastly back, I think. Or something like... Larvitar would be another good one. But then again, you don't want too many overpowering Pokemon in there, which is, you know, probably why maybe... Gibble won't be put in for this one, or maybe he will. We don't know. Apparently, they're also going to have 2 different new types. It's just a rumor, but apparently they will be bringing in 2 new types, which is the first time ever that we've had a new. It's the first time we've had a new type being added in to Pokemon since Gen 2, when they added in Steel and Dark. I don't know. Really, things that you could. Make probably light. Yeah, if so, Xerneas might be grass light type Pokemon. I don't know. And I don't know what the other type could be, but probably if you're going to go for a type, light will probably be one that will be put in. Will probably be light. Also, by the way, another thing. Apparently a lot of Pokemon are going to get new evolutions. Or devolutions. So... what Pokemon do you think you would like to see in Gen 6 get an evolution or a devolution of? Personally, I'd like to see an evolution of Pinsir and or Heracross, because those 2 are badass Pokemon, but I'd like to see what else you could get from them. Possibly a devolution of Onix as well, that people have been wanting for a while, and maybe an evolved form of Dunsparce, just to make things twice as annoying in competitive battling. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that little review. I am really looking forward to Pokemon X and Y coming out. It's going to come out in October, only for the 3DS, guys. So if you've got either a DS, DS Lite, DS XL, then you won't be able to get this game. Sadly, I've got a DS Lite. But I will hopefully be able to rectify that problem and get a 3DS by October. And if things go well, and if I get a new computer and stuff like that, you may see me do a Let's Play of it in future. When I first found out about Pokemon X and Y, I was a bit, I was a bit against it, mainly because of the fact they're called Pokemon X and Y. I thought, why haven't they just gone for colours and precious gemstones and metals again like they normally do? But they've gone for something different, and, well, I'm a full supporter of this. I mean, you can't just go for, you know, ones all the time. I mean, you'll get to, like, Pokemon Amethyst or something by the time Gen 7 comes along. And if I'm honest, I was really thinking that one of the Gen 6 starters was going to be a chair, like it says in Pikachu on Acid. Mainly because of the Pokemon they brought in Gen 5, things like Vanillish, and Trubbish, things like rubbish bags and bloody ice cream cones. I thought they were really running out of ideas. I've been thinking this since Gen 4, that Pokemon were getting like evolutions of themselves, like Tangela got an evolution, Lickitung got an evolution, when really some of those evolutions really didn't make sense. Things like Electabuzz getting an evolution and Magmar getting an evolution, perfectly fine with that. They needed one. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Comment down below what you think about Pokemon X and Y, and I'll see you for my new Let's Play quickly tomorrow. See you then.